I'm ready to answer the question that everybody has been asking me. Everybody has been wondering why I moved to DC at this time. And none of it was planned. Most of it, I just needed to leave and go to a new place. It was just coincidental that I was going to be coming in probably one of the most chaotic times in DC's recent history. I wish I could properly explain the vibes or kind of like the experience of being here during this chaos. But honestly, I'll just leave it to Annie.
It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. Steady treated, we get tricked. Steady kisses, we get kicked. It's the hard knock life.
There's a lot of frustration among the residents of DC, among people I work with, people I go to church with, people just on the streets, just everyone. There's very lot of frustration, a lot of fear. There's a lot of everybody's on their toes. There's anxiety. Most of the people that I work at the Holocaust Museum in DC. They have been there for 10, 20, 30 plus years, and they've said that they have never experienced such turmoil government wise in their lifetimes. It's been a sobering experience to see how many people have lost their jobs that I have met in the last few weeks, or are uncertain about their jobs, or uncertain if their contracts are going to be renewed. It's just very scary, honestly.
Got no folks to speak of, so it's the hard knock row. We hold cotton blankets, ditto wool, empty bellies, ditto full. It's the hard knock life.
Something that's always been really stable are like government jobs, at least for the people here. And for them to not feel secure in that anymore really feels like a betrayal. And it feels like they have lost trust and faith in the government themselves and itself. So there is definitely a sense of disillusionment here. And I went to church. I remember my first week, and even our first week, there was like a statement that was said over the pulpit that just like, if you've lost your job, please talk to us. Let's figure it out. And I think there is goodness in that. There's people that are willing to help each other and trying to be understanding with one another. Um, but there is everybody's a little bit kind of want to keep people at a distance. There's a little bit of cynicism. There's a little bit of like, who can we trust?
Santa Claus we never see. Santa Claus, what's that? Who's he? No one cares for you a smidge when you're in an orphanage. It's the hard knock life.
Yes, it is.
And I'm not going to say everyone has fallen into cynicism and disillusionment, but that is the general sentiment that I have gotten. And I have spoken to a lot of people, and I've introduced myself to a lot of new people at work and just in the city. And there is a little bit of like, what else? Like a loss of almost hope, and a loss of like, what else is going to happen next? And it's very unfortunate. And so many people here, either themselves or family or friends, are being affected by all these changes and all the chaos that's happening in the country, but very concentrated here in the city.
Don't it feel like the wind is always howling? Don't it seem like there's never any light? Once a day, don't you want to throw the towel in? It's easier than putting up a fight. Oh.
I don't regret my decision of coming here. And it's been, once again, quite the experience to see this in firsthand wise, and with people that I've met here and people I've spoken to. And I think it's good to understand and to remember, no matter your politics, whatever side you're on or whatever. We need to remember that any type of dramatic changes and changes in government employment, in departments, these are real people. Even if it's a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there, these are real people with real lives. And we live, especially people who are living here in DC or near this DC area, it's an area with a high cost of living. So any like lapse of employment is much more strongly felt by the people here. I just met a girl recently, and she was laid off and was not offered anything for having her to stop work where she's at a government job. So even a month or two of not having a job here, it can be very devastating, just because of the high cost of living and the expenses and food and travel and everything here. It's very expensive, and you're starting to see people, especially younger single people, leaving the city because it's too chaotic and the high cost of living. Saying that, I do have hope. I have hope that the city will recover, and most people do feel that it's going to take time, and people are just holding on to their breath. In the same musical in Annie, there's the crescendo song, tomorrow, and essentially says, "Tomorrow the sun will come out. Tomorrow, bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be the sun. Clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none." Um, there's always hope, even though it feels in some ways kind of hopeless. The thing I want everyone to um, remember and to understand is, even if this doesn't affect you directly, all these things are happening and the chaos, and you're like, well, this is just, these are just what happens. It is deeply affecting the people, deeply affecting the communities, and deeply affecting the neighborhoods here. And I think that is something worth thinking about and worth considering when you are discussing these issues and these changes in our country. And remember that these things affect real people and families that maybe you don't know specifically, but people who are working day and night to help our government run well and reach its potential. I'll leave you on that note, that things hopefully will settle down and be better, and that we can be a little more conscientious and empathetic towards one another during this time of chaos.